But the cool thing that I like about movies, since you're a movie guy, I just want to give you, I'm not a huge movie guy, but one thing I like about movies is I like movies with good dialogue.
Yeah, me too.
Like what I said earlier with Harvey Keitel, excuse me, with From Dusk Till Dawn. Are you such a loser you can't tell when you win? I like stuff. I like those type of things.
Yeah.
And so Cormac McCarthy said he drops gems like that. There's dialogue like that's in his books.
Yeah.
Do you think it was written like that, or do you think Harvey Keitel ad-libbed it?
I don't know. That's a good question. I never thought about it, but I like it. So with that being said, just one thing I'll touch on when it comes to dialogue. One of the things that Javier Bardem, so he's the guy that plays the assassin, right? So he's kind of like a minor boss. He's a guy that's just, he's like an underboss that's getting money. Huh?
Javier Bardem's
he's in the counselor.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, so the dialogue, he's talking to the counselor, and you never know the counselor's name. That's Michael Fassbender.
Okay.
But he's always called the counselor, which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a name. And he says, you can do anything to a woman except bore her.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
just stuff like that.
I appreciate that.
They
I like
get you
that,
thinking.
because I'm on your level. Because have you heard of the show Spartacus?
Oh, I love Spartacus, man. I gotta wrap that up.
I love Spartacus, and something that hooked me real earlier is when he was talking to I don't remember their names no more, but like the ultimate king of the whole fucking shit, He's talking to his wife, and they're talking about giving a gift of a woman, and they're like, oh, her chastity, we're trying to preserve her and he fucking looks at her, he goes, the only gift in chastity is in its removal.
Right. Oh,
And I was just like, oh my God, that was God. Like, it's fucked up, but it's dope as fuck, right?
Yeah. The dialogue there is very sharp.
Yeah.
There's edgy dialogue, and and I appreciate Spartacus. It was well done. And now that we talked about that, I want to get, that's something I've kind of been wanting to finish. And it was kind of crazy, like with the actor passing away.
Yeah,
and
that was
deep. But the guy, and it kind of goes to the point to what we were talking about earlier about acting.
Yeah.
Right. I really didn't notice, because that guy embodied that character.
He did a great job.
And to me, it just kind of just kept going, and it was natural to me.
Yeah.
Because he went into character.
Yeah.
He was.
It was one I wasn't, because I usually get pretty irritated. Like, unless somebody passes away, you understand, like,
Right.
The term "the show must go on" is there, and we have to appreciate it some aspects, and sometimes we respect it, and like you got different things like in television with Roseanne when she fucked up. She didn't die, but she fucked up. She might as well have died in the aspect of Hollywood, and they turn Roseanne into the Connors.
Right.
And they continue without her, and they write her off as she died, and it's weird, but they kept it going.
Oh shit, Paul's breaking shit.
Oh, you dropped
Here
something?
we go.
It was just my phone. Don't worry.
And then, of course, we got Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, 2 Aunt Vivs. We got even Roseanne, I think, had 2 Beckys, all these different aspects of things.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the other one. There was something else.
70s
Boy Meets
show.
World. I loved Boy Meets World. Boy Meets World. There was 2 little sisters. I think their name was Morgan.
There was?
Yeah.
No way.
They went back and forth on those ones, these different things. So, yeah.
That's deep. I never really looked at that type of.
Yeah.
The Spartacus is all I got.
Yeah, my bad. I'm like, I'm a big old, I've been locked on the
Actually,
TV.
Bewitched.
You
I
know,
think
you know, in
Bewitched,
Big
too.
Daddy, Frankenstein was 2 people.
Yeah, there was twins. Yeah, but see, that didn't shock me because Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen been doing that for so long with rotating roles with their twin aspect,
Right.
And it's kind of always been a thing. When it came to twins, they would do that, and it's so yeah, I remember.
Which
that.
one
There
do you
was,
think? Which one do you think said "You got it, dude"? Because she's the best one.
Well,
Mary Kate and
that was a
Ashley? Probably Mary Kate.
repeated line throughout the whole series.
Do you
bro.
think they both said it?
Probably.
Do you think they had one, or do you know that they only had one puller
don't
for every
know.
time? Oh, I was like, that'd be a
You
trip.
got it, dude.
We pull you in for this line every time.
Bro,
Who knows?
I'm a huge 70s show fan. I just love that fucking show. I don't know why.
I never knew that show existed till I lived in Wisconsin.
Really?
Yeah, I never heard of it.
That's crazy, bro.
They love that show, bro.
But like in one of the very early seasons, like Jackie's mom like made a very tiny appearance, right? She's like some blonde realtor lady, right? And then like in like the 6th or 7th season, they made this whole thing about Jackie's mom hooks up with Donna's dad. But Jackie's mom later on is Brooke Shields.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? It's like some tall, hot brunette. And you're like,
That's
what the fuck, bro?
Yo,
They
is
totally
It's always
switched that
funny when
up.
they do
Is
that.
it Mila or Mila?
Mila Kunis? I don't know.
I think it's
Mila Kunis?
I think it's
Shout out to her.
Does she do like the action movies too a little bit? Is that
Mila.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't-
she-
no, that's Mila Jovovich.
Oh, so a different
Resident
Ah,
Evil.
No,
Yeah.
that was a different girl.
No, but Mila Kunis is in Book of Eli,
Book of
Oh,
Eli
that's
with
true.
Denzel. Yeah, I
So
just
that-
watched that.
No, she's in another
and
action
she's
movie
fucking
then.
shit up in that movie. Yeah. Mila Kunis is in.
That's an excellent movie too.
I
Book
feel
of
like
Eli?
Denzel
Book
was
of Eli
fucking
was
shit
pretty
up
cool.
for her in that movie.
Yeah, she was still flipping over stuff and.
That was a pretty
Right on.
cool fucking movie, though. I don't know. I still haven't decided if I'm going to sell
Yeah,
it
that
back to the pawn shop.
P
or
hit
not.
me up. He said,
I love that movie.
"Yo,
it's one of my
so
favorites.
so he's like, I'm watching Book of Eli. He's like, you mean to tell me he's fucking blind?"
I
And
watched-
I'm like, yeah.
I watched that whole movie like locked in, and when that conclusion came, I was blown away.
Yeah.
And when that happened, like I don't get blown away easy. I'm usually like, I know what's going on here.
He
Get on my
did-
phone back and forth. That was one of those movies where I was like, what the fuck?
He did it in Braille for one, and then the other part he kind of kept it true to the script. He says, "Now you got to write this exactly how I say it."
Yeah, but that's
Right.
at the end of the
Yeah,
movie.
yeah. Well, but when they say about the book, this has to be written exactly how it's said.
Yeah.
Don't add or take anything away. So I was kind of like, oh, they stuck true to the script, but it was still violent as hell, and I don't know.
Yeah, violence is part of life.
Absolutely. It's been
always
part
been
of
there.
life for the last 17,000 years or more.
What other action movie she's in? I would consider Book of Eli action movie. I think she is in another.
I think
action
she's in
movie.
some kind of vampire movie or something like that. I don't know. I feel like
I think she's one of those that does all kinds of different films. You know?
Or she's getting checked.
Spokane, old school in the house. What did you think about the Dolomite movie?
I watched it and I was entertained. I like just Dolomite movies.
Yeah.
Just the Dolomite movies of themselves. So it was kind of interesting because if you don't know who Rudy Ray Moore is, if you haven't been exposed to any of that stuff, you can look at the new offering and like it or not. But I'm familiar with it, so I thought that.
Right.
I thought it was good, and I thought that he embodied him pretty good. Because even some of the scenes that you saw when they remade,
Yeah.
they were showing you some of the stuff they were doing, and I think I even went and looked at one of the movies, for
Yeah.
one of the scenes and stuff. So they did a pretty good job. I was entertained.
The movie meant a lot to people in my family because Rudy Ray Moore was like his brother. He had Spokane roots, and he was like some of these people's uncle.
Yeah, he's related to the Codys.
And they show up. There's Rudy Ray Moore, Dolomite. That was the claim to fame back then. Oh, Dolomite's family, and they're like, yeah, right.
crazy.
And then I met Lloyd Moore, who is Rudy Ray Moore's brother, who is my children's godfather before he passed away. And I'm like, well, that's a trip.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's
All
like
that shit is on Tubi TV also. All of his movies.
It's all real shit. People like said, y'all motherfuckers is related to Dolomite. I was like, man, I swear to God, these kids are related to Dolomite.
Tubi better start paying Paul for promotion.
Yeah, I talk about it all the time.
Yeah,
I watch more Tubi TV, the free app, than I watch of fucking Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, all that shit
I
combined.
watched a little bit of that.
It-
Too.
it's a-
Everybody's gotten plugged tonight.
Hey, it's
All the big-
a trip of the shit that happens though, man. Hey, Demrick, you remember Demrick?
Demrick. I can't think of it.
Demrick, he raps with B Real and
yeah.
he's rapping with B Real and
Exhibit.
Exhibit now.
Yeah.
That's Q's first cousin. So I was like, yeah, they're like, oh, the biggest rapper from Spokane. I'm like, well, it's probably Demrick. And they're like, who? Demrick? Ain't he from Philly? And I'm like, nah, he's from
Yeah,
Spokane.
that guy's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you think he's from Philly? Did he move there?
Yeah, he moved to Philly.
repped
Then he
Philly
moved to
for a
like
while,
Long
did
Beach.
he?
And he repped Philly,
Oh, okay.
but he went to Bemis.
Yeah. He's good.
There's a place called Bemis.
Bemis
Elementary.
Elementary.
Oh, our school. Okay, I thought you meant a city.
Yeah,
Okay.
that school's in the cut kind of too. Like
Yo, Bemis story.
Me.
You remember the old English 64 ounces, TJ? Did you ever see an old English 64
I've
ounces?
only seen pictures of them. I've never seen one.
So there's an old English 64 ounce. I'm going to go way back.
Google.
I'm going to get people in
You ever
trouble.
seen 'em?
Nah, I ain't going to get them in trouble because they already did their time for whatever. So Church was in juvenile or something. I think he was probably still a juvenile. There was a 64 ounce in the fridge. Me and Boudreaux are probably 11 or so.
You got the same age?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me, Boudreaux, and Abram still the 64 ounce. We get punched in the chest later for it, but I'll talk about that later. We as kids, you motherfuckers stole my 64 ounce. Punch in the chest. So we
Totally worth it.
Yeah. So we go to Bemis and we go like, like when you walk into elementary school, they got the little pillars above. And we're like climbing up the pillars and shit. And there's like a little bench inside. So we're 11-year-old boys and we house a 64 ounce between the three of us. Pretty drunk.
They knew that shit had to be passed around, man. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
We pretty fucked up.
64 ounce.
There's ice outside. It's probably about this time of year. And we were running across like puddles that had been iced over and sliding on them. Me and Boudreaux run across them. And then Abram follows us. He breaks through the ice. He falls down. He slices his leg. It's about that deep on like his knee. And you could see like tendon and stuff moving.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And we're like, yo, man, we got to get you to the hospital because that thing's opened up. He had like juvenile warrants. He's like, I ain't going to no hospital.
Juvenile warrants.
Who was that?
Abram.
God
You remember
damn.
him?
Yes.
So-
he was like that at that age.
Yeah.
I got juvenile. I ain't going
He's
no.
like, I got one. But man, that motherfucker was crazy when he was younger.
God damn.
Hey, so the Zips and Hilliard were banging on the doors like, hey, man, our friend needs help. And they're like, go use
At that age, I was like, call my mom.
Yes, they go
Call
use a
my mom.
payphone. And he's like holding his leg. I can't believe this is happening. We're looking at it. We're getting sick. And he's like, fuck that. I ain't going to no hospital. And he books. He runs from us. Like as fast as he could.
You
He
said you guys were 11 years old?
Yeah, something
Oh
like
my
that.
God, that's crazy.
So he runs from us, wasted, bleeding from his leg. Motherfucker could have died. Like it was all the way to you. When you're talking to the white meat and you see all that like ligaments moving and stuff. We're like, and he's like, we gotta go. So me and this motherfucker run across the railroad tracks, buy Market Street Pizza, cross down there, slide down the hill on Illinois, and end up at Church's wife's house, who is his wife now. Let us in. Yo, D, let us in the house. She lets us in. She's like, what's wrong with you dudes? We're fucking drunk. We're fucking kids. We're fucking probably like 90 pounds each. Fucking faded.
Oh my god.
Abe, I've always had respect and love for you, but I have a whole new respect for you right now.
I ain't going to jail. And I'm like, man, you got so much to live for. Hey, so he gets stitched up and back to normal. And I won't say like one of the homies' moms was like, yeah, Buddy and Mike put him in the gang and they sliced his leg open. I was like, no, he fell down. They're like, nah, bullshit. They're out here gang banging, and they slice his leg open for gang initiation. Yo, this motherfucker, hey, ask him to show you a scar on his leg.
Oh
It's
my
right here.
God.
It's fucking.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to need to see that next time.
Yo, the scar. I was like, no, we wouldn't try to put nobody in no gang. That motherfucker, we got drunk and he fell down. Bullshit. And I'm like, no, I swear, that's the truth.
Holy
Yo,
shit.
that's crazy.
Man, that's a trip.
That's some crazy ass.
I ain't going back to jail. I think he just got out of like juvenile, like boot camp. I ain't going back.
What age do they start that at? Because there's a cutoff age, right? To where like you just get sent home to your parents to you're going to the detention center.
Oh, he was cutting up though.
Yeah.
His mom's probably like, I'm done with this shit. Take his ass.
What was that?
We were all cutting up back then.
That was my midnight fucking meal alarm, probably. God damn.
I want to do a segue real quick because I didn't introduce him when we started, but Katie King is running the video for us tonight.
What's up, video?
And we appreciate that shit, bro.
Shouts out Katie Kang.
Real.
Yes, sir.
Katie King's always been in the circle, part of the squad, part of the table. Even when you can't see him, he's with us. So, Genesis, you also got a clothing line? Is that right?
Yeah, I want to hear about the comfort wear.
Well, the comfort wear is on its way, and it's funny. I was talking to you earlier. I was looking at your name. Can you say your name for me? Your last name?
Yeah, Regalado.
Regalado. So I like that.
Regular.
So last summer, I was thinking about the comfort wear. Well, before last summer, actually, I was thinking about some things I wanted to do, and I actually went to IKEA and I saw this really rich color of green, and it had like this rose gold and different stuff in this setup in this kitchen. It reminded me of like the 80s, right? This look, and it was really regal. That's the way I was like, man, that's a real regal look. So I was gonna put out because I don't have anything out yet. So I was going to put out a brand, and I'm still going to do it. So you're going to see this logo just like this featured on a deep green sweatshirt, like not a hoodie, just a sweatshirt, and then the logo will be gold.
Yeah.
It'll just be a bright gold on green. So it's going to be a little different, but as you can see, this is different. So that's going to be it'll be the logo print, but it'll be called the Regal.
Yeah.
That's the Regal style and color and the format of that. So so I saw your name and I was like I had already obviously decided that, but I saw that and I just put it all together. And I'm like, man, this is cool. So my ideal was this: you guys were supposed to all have those tonight, but it didn't. But the plan had plans of its own. So I'll get around to it. And make sure that we get you guys the Regal Beauchamp and Chase green and gold joints.
You know what they say.
Yeah.
You want to make God laugh, just tell him what you got planned.
Word up. Yes, sir.
I'm all about like greens and shit. I'm stoked.
Yeah, it's gonna be a risky color type of thing, but I think but it's gonna be cool and unique, and it's gonna stand out, and it's gonna be quality.
That's hot.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah,
'cause
me too.
I'm a big black and gray. Like that's all I do. And like every couple of years, I'll wear like an orange shirt or a yellow shirt, and it's like, it's very rare. But like if I hear a green, like I'm like, can I do that? And when I do, I feel special. So that's what those colors do. They make you feel different.
Do you have any tattoos that aren't black and gray or black and white?
I have one that has some white highlights in it, but you can't really see them anymore.
Dude, I don't
have a color.
I don't like color tattoos. I got one and I hate it.
Well, see, my cousin Pancho, when he started tattooing me back in the day, he told me that he would only do that. And I grew a respect for the black and gray art for tattooing.
Because that's what it was. Like colors was like new shit.
Yeah, right? So like I kind of like I didn't take like an official oath, like I'm not allowed to, but like I strongly stayed true to that. Like I don't want to mess with the colors and tattoos.
The homie would call it prison style. I'm only into prison style tattoos. That color shit is for fucking new booties.
Well, do you have color tattoos and shit?
I have really old tattoos, so yeah.
I feel like color tattoos are for like hot girls. You know what I mean? Like hot chicks rock dope color tattoos and shit. But
they get fucked up in the sun.
I don't know any dudes that rock
black, the traditional black, gray, and
I got an S on my arm.
Yeah,
like it's like the Green Bay G, but it's an S, so it's just an S. Because Green Bay is my team, so it's the S for Syntax, the rap name, and then it's green. Because that's one of my favorite colors, and then Green Bay too. So
okay,
that's filthy. We got to see that.
Yeah, it's old, so it's not much to see.
I was always told the colors it's maintenance. You gotta go get them touched
exactly.
up.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, who has I've never had a tattoo touched up in my life. Who has time for that shit? Yeah. Like that's a job in itself. Have you had a tattoo touched up?
Yeah. Portraits. I've had a portrait that this one still needs to be touched up in my opinion. And the colored one needs to be fucking touched up.
Oh, you have a colored
color
one
too? You just told me you didn't.
No, as I said, I got one color tattoo and I hate it.
Oh, okay.
It's the Seattle colors right here. The homie Anthony who did some of your shit, he did a fantastic job, but it just needs more blue.
What is that one?
It's a big it's the vintage Seahawk busting out of like.
You have a Seahawks tattoo?
Yeah.
Why do I not know this?
Because it's on my upper arm.
But I've seen your other upper arm.
You don't wear a lot of tank tops.
It's the old school Seahawk busting out, and then right here you got the Space Needle, and right here you got the pavilion downtown, and behind it, it's not right here.
I feel like I've never seen that before.
So this Seattle logo is from an old school ass T-shirt, and he's busting out of God dang, I think it's the fucking Kingdome. The Kingdome's like exploding in this. So as I was saying, the color, you see how light it is?
Yeah.
It needs to be darker than that. I mean, it looks fine. I could leave it. But for it to be proper, like, because his claws, they're supposed to be yellow there. You probably can't see that. And it was just a bad idea.
No, it looks
Yo.
good. I just can't believe I don't remember ever seeing the tattoo.
I don't even have any tattoos, but I need one. I need one.
I need.
But really, do you think that you'll get one day?
Probably
Because you're getting to that age, honestly, where it's like,
I'm too old.
no, I don't think you're too old, but
I'm
you're
just
getting to that age now where it's like,
but you ain't too
Thank
old.
you,
you gonna
man.
get one?
Seriously, bro. I
'Cause
really appreciate that.
Because your body's gonna stretch out, but your
Right.
body might be a stretch that's gonna stretch.
No, I'm
And
gonna
then-
get ripped
and
this
then-
year.
Yeah, well then maybe you wait to get your tattoos on your ripped body.
Maybe.
Get ripped. Kanye,
Or you-
24.
you get this shit now, and when you get ripped,
Hell
the
yeah.
tattoo looks even tighter.
Like
Right?
when Adam Sandler let his son get a tattoo of Daddy's boy or whatever, and he got the new kids on the block and they look like bobbleheads because he's like, "Oh, you let me get a tattoo when I was 10."
Oh, that's funny. I've
Shit was
never seen
hilarious.
that movie.
Was
but
that Daddy of the Year or something?
Something like that. Yeah.
I think I want something on the arm or something like that first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think about what it's going to be?
Hey, take it easy.
Yeah, I do.
Don't go here. The homie got his daughter tattooed about this big. So part of her head hit his ribs, and the rest of it was his belly meat. And they're in prison when they did it, so they had to do like 3 sessions. Like usually you get a session to finish the portrait, and you go back a couple weeks later. He's like, "Well, we don't want to let it heal, so we got to come this night, the next night, and the next night." So he's like, "It was brutal." He said, especially when the needle was hitting the rib bone, because like when I had my elbow when I was I got to fix that one, and the needle was tapping the elbow. You could feel it actually tapping, and it's fitting the bone. I'm like, God damn, that kind of hurts. Like they're kind of hurt, and as soon as they get really close to the armpit, other than that, it's cool. It's nothing. It's all academic. But like under the armpit, or when it's like tapping some bone. Or some really soft flesh that is like fucking say, oh yeah, man, it tattoo my nutsack. I could that hurt, man.
That'd just be crazy.
Yeah.
I'm going to be real quick because I got to piss and we could wrap up. But like, I really feel like we neglected to really touch on some political shit that we can get a lot of different perspectives tonight with what's going on in the world. I would like to touch on it if everybody's down. Talk about it amongst yourselves while I take a leak real quick, or we could wrap up, or touch on other things.
No, we can. Let's get to it when you get back.
I'm down to touch on that. We keep the conversation going until then.
Yeah, I mean, shit.
Political about what?
Probably about the storming, you know what I'm saying?
So,
Storming
okay,
of
so
the Capitol.
I
Or is
literally
there some
have
other
only
shit?
seen this shit in my Facebook feed. I've watched Zero TV. I don't know any of this story, but I saw the picture of the fucking guy dressed like an Indian and shit, and I'm just like, natives are gonna make memes about that and make them funny, and that's cool. But it is. It's just a bullshit story that is meant to divide us. You know what I mean? And most of the indigenous media. Facebook pages and stuff. They're they're making memes too because it's
They're
When
making
it was-
they're making memes about taking aunties.
well, dude. Well, and just comparing to what you guys are talking about politically, it's like at Standing Rock, bro. There is fucking water cannons. There's fucking flashbang grenades. People. The motherfuckers storming the White House did not get that same fucking
Hey.
treatment from the authorities. You know what I mean?
Oh, not storming the White House,
No,
but storming the
you
Capitol
know what I mean? Yeah.
building.
Did I
Well,
tell you?
it's okay. I stand corrected, P. I didn't watch anything, so
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
fine.
Did I
Storming
ever
the
tell you?
Capitol building.
Okay, yeah, but so same diff though. You know what I mean? It's like they were not treated the same as we were when we were trying to defend water.
Did I
You know what I
ever?
mean?
Oh
No, for
yeah.
sure,
Wow,
for
that-
sure.
Did I ever tell you about?
So that's my take on it, man.
Hey, okay.
That's really wild out.
So the same homie I was telling you about that cut his leg up, wasn't going back to jail, wilding out and shit.
Yeah.
So I left out. He's Jewish. His mother's Jewish.
cool.
So she's pretty keen to like human rights and stuff. She's from Philly.
Hell yeah.
And she's telling us about watching Muhammad Ali fight when he was Cassius Clay.
Yeah.
So she went to Standing. Yeah.
Clay.
Yeah. She went to Standing Rock, and I don't know how old she is now. She's in her 70s. She went over there, probably, I don't know how many years ago. She's probably about 70 when she went over there. She's mid-70s now.
Yeah.
And
That's like 5 years ago. 2015.
she's tiny. She's about this big. She was out there with the shit.
Hell yeah,
She was out there in Standing Rock. She's been with the shit for years.
Well, she's got more balls than the guys that stormed the Capitol.
Like they were telling stories back in the day about Martin Luther King giving a speech in was it DC or something like that kind of shit, and I'm like, I don't believe that. And then she got proof to back it up, and I'm like, yo, she been with the shit forever.
Yeah,
and
that's
she
Bernie Sanders shit.
yeah,
Yeah,
and she's like 5'0" nothing.
hell yeah.
I mean, I don't know how tall she was back then, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, dude, and
Bro.
I see no coverage of the shit. You know what I mean? I just see the memes and what people are
I
posting.
think she got fucking pepper sprayed out there, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly. Like we were talking earlier about how, like, if I don't know, you got more?
No, I'll go.
We were talking earlier about how, like, if different ethnicity of folk would have stormed the Capitol building, they would have been treated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I don't know that any, even a lot of white folk probably wouldn't have like that breed of white folk that stormed that Capitol building. They're very entitled people, and I
I'm
deal
so
with
glad you used that
deal
term-
with that
word,
cloth.
yeah.
I deal with that cloth, on a day-to-day basis, at my job, and it's just crazy that not all Americans are that entitled, period, and I think it's crazy. I don't even think that a person of color would feel so entitled to go into the fucking Capitol building and do some crazy ass shit
you-
like that.
did
You
you
know what
see-
I mean? Like, goddamn,
I would go to fucking jail.
exactly, because you're going to get shot. Like,
You
come
guys,
on, man.
You guys really want to trip out if you go
Yeah.
if you go back and look at some of the footage. Them motherfuckers they didn't break in. I seen videos.
They were allowed
I
in.
seen videos of cops walking with them.
They were allowed in.
Yes.
Walking
weird,
with
right?
them.
Well-
I seen a black officer.
Stunt.
This dude was going up the stairs and he
Stunt.
said, "Move, motherfucker!"
That looks
And the-
staged to me.
And the dude was backing up the stairs like back up, but he had his gun right here. He wasn't ready to reach for his gun yet. He probably fucking should have.
Yeah, man, they're making an attack on the nation's capital,
They stormed
bro.
past him. They pushed him down because he was by himself. And then and obviously it's fucking 2020. Motherfuckers make memes. Did you see the black dude in the speaking room and he's got like a bubble jacket on and he's got his hands on his hips and it says, "Now if I were a stimmy, where would I be?"
I did see that. Shit, baby,
I
laugh.
didn't see that.
Shit, baby, laugh.
He said, "So if I was a stimulus check, where would I be?" And he was standing there like this, and I'm like, "Yo, these motherfuckers went up in there. I'd be asking, where's our money at, Mitch?"
Now, this is what really fucking pissed me off, because we all saw what we saw, we all heard what we heard, but the after effect is really what impacts.
They allowed
me.
it.
What it does to the people I actually know and that are around me, because that's what affects me and that's what I pay attention to. And so I saw, and I've been really good about, I didn't unfollow or unfriend motherfuckers through 2020. I did a really good job of that. I was like, everybody's going to have their opinion. Everybody's going to have their thoughts. I don't have to pay attention. I don't have to comment. I don't have to, whatever it may be. But now this shit happened. And I saw somebody post a picture of the woman that got shot and killed in the Capitol, right? And right away, my mind went to, damn, somebody's gone, right? It just sucks that somebody lost their life for it, regardless of reason. Somebody lost their life, and it took me to a post I saw from a black man that I know who posted and said, "We're not asking for you to shoot them like you shoot us. We're asking for you to not shoot us like you don't shoot them."
Right.
And I was like, God, that hurts my soul, because it's so real and so empathetic and understanding and beautiful. And it's reflected back with hatred. And I can't fucking understand why there's so much hatred looking back on that. And then I see this motherfucker post a picture of this woman who died and said, "Here she is." And I'm very sorry because I don't remember her name. But Air Force veteran or something like that, white woman, killed in the Capitol. And I was like, all interested, because I was like, oh, we're spotlighting somebody who died. I should pay attention. And I start reading, and then I got fucking sick to my stomach, bro. Bros, everybody, you guys fucking watching, everybody. And then it follows up with, but because she wasn't a drug dealer and because she was not a gangbanger you'll never hear about her and there will be no t-shirts made. And I fucking lost my fucking mind because all I thought was, are you seriously going to promote this right now? Because all that tells me is all you need to do for posting that is go fucking print her face on a t-shirt and wear it and start a protest if you care about it that much.
Right.
You're fucking mad because people stood up against something. And you're going to fucking use that to promote. That's racism to me. That's it. And it drives me insane that people hype on that train of, since she wasn't, are you serious right now? If you're passionate, go fucking put it on a t-shirt. Go get the tattoo. Go do what you need to do. Protest. Nobody's going to be mad at you for doing so. If she was Air Force, we have something called a military. I'm sure they could fucking formulate something. Right?
Right.
I'm so sick and tired of these motherfuckers out here acting like, oh, it's not the same. No, it's not the same. And it's never been the same. But because you got affected, we're supposed to feel worse for you?
I feel
That's my piece.
Yes.
I feel you 100%. I also feel R.I.P. to that lady. But on the other hand, I also have a part of me that says, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Yeah. Well,
Motherfuckers like,
simple as live by the sword.
Well, she was the weight, and you weren't this wound up
about her as you were about George Floyd. Well, I was like, hey man, I watched
real quick. I'm sorry, Mike, but real quick, I'm real passionate about it. The other thing that was posted in that same thing was she wasn't doing anything wrong. She was simply climbing through a window. And I was like, you know what, motherfucker? I wouldn't even got allowed on the steps.
She broke the window.
Exactly.
They were breaking the window.
Like, are you,
Window's broken,
You're
she was
currently
climbing
you're
through it.
breaching the property. You've already exceeded where you should have been, and you're breaking and
Exactly.
entering. I wouldn't even been allowed on the steps. You wouldn't have been allowed on the steps. You wouldn't have been. You probably like this is what I'm saying. Like, get the fuck out of here.
During the
I-
BLM meetings,
I watched
3-block perimeters. Or perimeters and people in position, ready, trained people ready to go.
Yeah,
So it wasn't.
And during this one, as curfew was hitting, I still saw police officers with their hands in their pockets, slowly putting their helmets on. Like,
because they even the police or the people that let them in, they all responded to the dog whistle from the president.
yeah.
You know, it was clearly a dog whistle
But why are people out there still not seeing that?
because they're responding to dog whistles. A dog will respond to the whistle. It doesn't think. It just responds to the whistle. It just does.
I think what disappointed
It
me
hears
most
it.
about this specific is this is somebody who's been involved in the hip hop culture for so long, and I'm like, how can you seriously be that ignorant? In a culture that represents something that you're anti, obviously.
was it the person I think it is?
I'll say his fucking name. It's Adam Olsen.
Oh, okay.
Who I don't know who that is.
Yeah, nobody probably fucking does. And it's just,
Yeah.
it made me sick, bro.
He's went pretty far.
So
way.
so what is it about him that makes you? What?
It was just that post. That was it.
Oh, he posted.
Yeah, he's the one who posted it. And
Well,
when I saw it, I was just like, "Are you kidding me right now?"
I can tell you what my problem is with dude. He doesn't. He doesn't. I don't know. He doesn't get it. He's like, oh, you protest. You take a knee. Kaepernick took a knee, and he's a Niners fan. He took a knee. He's a bum. He's a bum. You don't understand why he did, or even who asked him, because it was a military dude that asked me. It's like, you're disrespecting the military, and you're like, do you know who brought the movement to Kaepernick when he started doing that? It was an ex-military man.
Telling him that was the most respectful form you could do it in.
And the most respectful thing you do, I was like, people are like, dude, they're kneeling to the flag. I was like, do you know what people used to do to royalty? They used to kneel to them. So whatever it is, you're saying that's disrespectful, but running up in a building and then trying to climb through the glass and getting dropped. I watched the video. It kind of bothered me, but it didn't too much because, like I said, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, and I don't give a fuck what you look like. If you play stupid games, you win
I
stupid
don't
prizes.
want anybody dying for this shit.
Me either.
We're all dying for the upper power, the top tier that none of us are at. We're all dying for that. Like, Why don't we see that yet? These fools are all up there laughing from their
did,
chariots.
it did trip me out seeing some of the videos. I was like, oh, it's gonna be nothing but white people, and I did see minorities in the mix coming in there, but I was like, man, it's gonna be a bunch of.
I didn't see any. I saw one black guy combing his fro out, and I saw the black reporter. I watched it for a half an hour, and I was looking hard. They were few and far.
So they got the meme with the dude where if I was a stimmy where would I be with the dude with the two fucking tails and the bull horns. He was standing behind there, and then there's some white dude. They said he went in Pelosi's office.
Shout out to Deese, because when Deese posted that picture of that same dude you talk about, he said,
"Oh, the
sequel
Buffalo
to the where the wild things live looks crazy."
That's fucking awesome.
Shout out to Deese, man.
Definitely.
We're gonna be with you in a couple weeks.
He had another one. He said, you guys think America's dead now? America died when McDonald's workers started asking for money for extra sauce.
Right.
Deese is great, man. We're gonna be on his show in a couple weeks.
I popped
Shout
up
out to
at
Deese.
I popped up. Shout out to Harry Riley as well. I reached out to Harry. Deese is doing a show out there at the Black Diamond, obviously before COVID.
Right.
And I hit up Harry, and I'm like, hey, man, because I'm a hustler. I'm like, hey, man, can I set up? You mind if I set up a table for after the show for the soap? And Harry's like, I don't have a problem with it. Let me holler at. I don't know who Deese is. So I reach out to Deese, and I'm like, hey, sir, can I come out there? And he's like, well, I don't know how comedy fits with soap and everything like that, but I'll just come on out. So I came on out, man, and I met Deese. He let me in, and just welcomed me, man, and just let me get off some stuff at the end.
Yeah.
And it was dope too. Yeah. That night was really funny. He had brought some people from Seattle over, and there was these white ladies, these Valley girls sitting in the front, they were talking amongst themselves. They were being real rude because they were right in the front, and you could hear them in the room, and you could kind of hear them on the mic. And this guy from Seattle, this kind of like this hippie dude, he had long red hair. He's like, hey, looking down at them, he goes, hey, it's me. The guy doing the show on stage, I just thought it was really funny how he handled it. And then they chilled out. But I thought they were kind of rude, but I sat down with them, and I'm not giving them a pass because they bought all my soaps, but they were really nice. They were just having a good time, feeling themselves. But I just shout out Deese as well, man. Thank you for giving me that opportunity, opening the door for me, and just being gracious.
That's what it's about, bro. That's what it's about.
We need to support each other more than ever now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Everybody out here really doing it, getting it. You know what I'm saying?
It's only a competition if we make it a competition.
Yeah, we need to support one another.
Play this game together, and we could take over some shit.
We gonna buy some pizza from the homie while we wash ourselves with the homie. So
I gotta try that pizza. I've been curious about that too. Yeah. So I've been wanting to ask on this because I keep seeing this. So, this is a hip hop trivia.
Okay.
A lyric trivia thing here.
You're in here, Kane. Yeah.
In a sense, I'm gonna grab this. Whose line is this? All you get is a pack of Newports and Puma sweats.
Oh fuck! I don't know.
He was talking about it's in the essence, the context of that line is who getting a bad record deal.
Sounds like Ice Cube, but I don't
remember.
Okay, I'll give you another hint. They're East Coast.